Good evening. This is the QTV Nightly News coming to you from our studios on Karaba Avenue, and I am Jules Denjai. Thanks for joining us. Here are the main news headlines. The Gambia Chamber of Commerce, Industry, Agriculture and Employees Association organized its first ever green market in a bid to promote local businesses. Now, residents of Salaji, including senior government officials in the area, embarked on a day-long cleaning and road rehabilitation exercise on Saturday. At a press conference, the president of the General Transport Union has voiced concern over the lack of garages across the greater Banjul area and the challenges this poses to the commercial transport sector. In international news, exiled Senegalese opposition figure Karim Wade, an ex-minister and the son of former head of state Abdoulaye Wade, says he has filed papers to contest February's presidential elections. These and other stories coming ahead in the next half hour. To stay tuned. If you are just tuning in, this is QTV News with me, Jules Denjai, and now let's look at the stories. The Gambia Chamber of Commerce, Industry, Agriculture and Employees Association organized its first ever green market fair in a bid to promote local businesses. Aliou Cisse was there, and this is his report.
The two-day fair, which commenced on Friday at the GCCI ground in Bijilo, brings together GCCI members engaged in made-in-Gambia local farm produce, agro-processing, livestock, seafoods and fresh vegetables. Aji Salisanya, Senior Operation and Membership Officer, GCCI, detailed the concept behind the farmers market.
Access to market is a problem in the Gambia, so it's organized to create access to market for farmers and the middlemen. As you can see, we have agro-processors, we have farmers that are here to sell their produce, because it was requested by them that we organize something like this, and it's the first time in the Gambia that it's holding. So we deemed it necessary to organize something for the farmers, and also it's the Christmas period. People will be needing their produce to shop, so we deemed it necessary to organize a small farmers market for Gambians.
dañ si kontaan parce que fi mu nekk nii mu ngi ñoo wone ni jigéen ñi mun nañoo def lu nekk.
Speaking Wolof, Yao Fall, president of the Women Breeders Association, who breeds goats and sheep, commended GCCI for conceiving the idea and asked for many more like this. She called on the government to give more support to empower more women to venture into this trade as a source of income and help realize food self-sufficiency. Among the challenges they face is lack of access to finance, which deters many more women from venturing into breeding. Wale Sen is the CEO, Applied Research, Innovation and Manufacturing that manufacture food processing and agricultural machines such as milling machines. Like many, Wale Sen was trained by GCCI, and 4 years on, he shared how the training has impacted on him.
It helped a lot because it opened up my mind to business world, because I studied engineering, so I had no idea about business then. But that training, it was a week-long training, so it helped me to be able to know the strategies of expanding my business and also the market aspect of it, and also reaching out to the customers and so on.
And what are your aspirations in the next 5 years or 6 years?
I think Gambian youths have a lot of talent. And if you look at these machines, if they tell you they are made in Gambia, most people will not believe it. And these are just very basic, simple machines. We are all engineers, we have the talent and skills to be able to expand this to a high level, production factory. And we also have the, market in regional countries in Senegal, in Ivory Coast, in other countries that need these services. So if we are empowered, we can do a lot within 5 years.
The Gambia Chamber of Commerce and Industry is an autonomous, not-for-profit membership-based private sector organization. As the voice of the business community, it regularly engages government on matters affecting the private sector. The GCCI is planning for its International Trade Fair from 10th of February to 10th of March 2024 at the same ground. Reporting for QTV News, I am Aliou Cisse.
Residents of Salaji, including senior government officials in the area, embarked on a day-long cleaning and road rehabilitation exercise on Saturday. The initiative seeks to encourage environmental cleanliness and facilitate movement in the area. Let's have more details of that in this report by Ansumana Esonyasi.
They came together as members of the community of Salaji to clean the community and rehabilitate roads within the community. Among them are familiar faces, some of them senior government officials, such as the Minister for Public Service, the Chief of Staff, Office of the President, and the Deputy Chief of Protocol, amongst others. Speaking to QTV on what prompted this community initiative, Babukar Boy, the Minister for Public Service, and Modke Sise, Chief of Staff at the Office of the President, commended the Deputy Chief of Protocol, Sankung Fofana, for coming up with the initiative through the Community Association. They also stressed the need for community service and the importance of environmental cleanliness.
As you can see, the turnout is very good, and we are really very happy that it has been, seen to be doing work for yourself, and that's the spirit. And we want to seize this opportunity to appeal to the other members of the community. Apart from this exercise, I'm sure there will be many more coming, but let's see it as doing, something for ourselves.
But I'm here as a community member and a participant.
I mean, what does it mean to be part of such an exercise?
Such an exercise, we have seen this now evolving. Like I said, the government policy now is to make it voluntary, and we do say, doing what is good, you don't need to actually to be forced or to call. So seeing the community of Salaji voluntarily coming up to do settle, that is cleaning exercise on their own volition, is really welcome. And what it means really is settle represent health and hygiene.
Lamin Bajinka, Lamin Dabo and Babukar Kamara, all residents of Salaji, commended members of the community who participated in this community exercise. They also expressed gratitude to senior government officials in the community who supported the initiative, as well as government institutions such as the NEA and NDMA. We are thankful and proud to clean our environment. Coming together as a community to carry out such a noble initiative means a lot to me, and I want to thank everyone for coming. Cleanliness promotes health, and I, as a community member, I am happy to be here. I want to encourage everyone else to always endeavor to clean their environment. We are doing this exercise for ourselves. We are the ones who use these roads, and so it is important that we fix them. We cannot always wait for government. Meanwhile, Malik Keba, Director of Technical Services at the NEA, also called on members of the public to always keep their environment clean. He commends the community of Salaji for the initiative and assures of his institution's support to all environment cleaning endeavors.
Cleanliness is godliness, and living in a clean environment is getting the right health that you want. So this cleaning exercise is very, very important.
As they rehabilitate and clean roads leading into the community, they hope to organize similar exercises at least every 2 months. Answane Sonyasi for KTV News.
Well, that's a good initiative there. Now, at a press conference, the president of the General Transport Union has voiced concern over the lack of garages across the greater Banjul area and the challenges this poses to the commercial transport sector. The union's president calls on the government to take action to solve the problem. Momodo Lamin Choi tells us more.
Commercial transport is critical to the movement of people, goods and services in every part of the country. The transport sector is a source of livelihood for many Gambians, including commercial drivers. As we hear from the president of the General Transport Union of the Gambia, Omar Sise, one major challenge for this sector is the lack of garages.
Because we all know garages are very important in terms of free movement aspect. But Gambia are very unfortunate. The commercial vehicles, they don't have a garage. We have only one recommended garage by commercial vehicle, passengers, Brikama. Right now, those garages cannot accommodate all these commercial vehicles across the country, across the West Coast region. So, we are working with the Ministry of Lands, Physical Planning. We do a survey on this subject matter with the government. Engage all the relevant stakeholders. We allocate some place we feel is good for the commercial garage across the Greater Banjul area. But that document is at Ministry of Lands. Up to date, we don't hear much about it.
That problem has remained unsolved for years. Take Tanje, for example. Despite being a busy transport destination, it has no garage. As we clear and expand our roads, drivers have lost spaces that were used as temporary, unofficial garages.
Though they have allocated some of the garages, we can recommend today we have 8 garages from the government, officially allocated, but they are not in the right place as of now, because most of the garages are within these layouts. Later on, maybe future, we will need them, but not today.
There is one source of revenue levied on drivers that the Transport Union president believes could be a source of investment for government to allocate garages.
But since 2006, up to date, any vehicle, petrol fuel liter from the petrol station, you have been contributing 20 butut per liter. Any one petrol fuel from the petrol station, you are contributing 20 butut per liter. So that means that money is supposed to come back so that the government can provide a garage for the drivers. But unfortunately, this is not happening. We engage the council, the 3 councils, but they cannot tell me the reality, what is the situation. We are engaged the government, they say council is supposed to provide. So which is which now? So that's why most of the government people are facing these constraints. Maybe they are blaming drivers, but we are not the cost. Because it's not our TOR, it's not our responsibility to provide a garage. It's the government, because already they have been collecting token for that money. If you can do an analysis, from January to December, how many fuel are you consuming? It's bulk of money. So this is a challenge in that aspect.
The lack of garages sometimes results in commercial drivers parking in public space, including along the roads, obstructing traffic and becoming a safety hazard. As government constructs more roads, the demand for garages across the Greater Banjul area continues. Mahmoud Lamin, QTV News.
That report takes us to our commercial break. When we return, we have national as well as international news stories for you. Don't go away.
Kamala Beach Resort Oceanfront presents the grand spectacular mega explosive New Year's Eve market gala dinner with a difference, with the Cora Prince, Africa's rising star, the melodic voice of Manding, Sidiki Jabati, taking the nation by storm, and the soulful voice of the nation's pride, Barhama Chama, an unforgettable night, the fireworks display, tables, gold, $50,000 C, platinum, $65,000 C, time 8 p.m. onwards. For reservations, call 594-7777. Proudly sponsored by QCell, Sunubos. Happy New Year to you all.
The Birth Registration Unit under the Ministry of Health is pleased to inform the public that routine birth registration services have resumed across the Gambia. Following the successful introduction of the new electronic civil registration of births and issuance of National Health Insurance Card in 2022, the Ministry of Health will be issuing birth certificates at designated health facilities across the Gambia. All eligible Gambians, especially parents of eligible children, are encouraged to walk into health facilities to obtain a birth certificate for themselves and their children. To be eligible for a birth certificate, you must meet at least one of the following requirements. Be born in the Gambia to one or both Gambian parents, be born in the Gambia to parents who are non-Gambians, be born in the Gambia to parents who are refugees resident in the Gambia, be born outside the Gambia to one or both Gambian parents. Those who wish to obtain a birth certificate need at least one of the following documents: infant welfare card, antenatal card for newborn, alcalos attestation endorsed by district chief or mayor, old birth certificate elongated. At least one of the following supporting documents from one or both parents will also be required: birth certificate, Gambian national identity card, infant welfare card, passport, death certificate, residential permit or non-Gambian identity card, refugee ID card. The Ministry of Health and partners wish to remind all Gambians that birth registration is a fundamental right of every child. Therefore, All parents and guardians are strongly encouraged to obtain a birth certificate for their children. Remember, birth registration for children under 5 years of age is free.
Welcome back. If you are just tuning in, this is KUTV News with me, Jul Denjai, and now to the rest of our stories. A team of medical doctors from the United Kingdom is in the country to offer free medical services to the community of Kombo Gunjur in the West Coast region. Loli M. Kamara attended the session and she now reports.
These doctors are in the country courtesy of the Epidemiology and Disease Control Unit of the Ministry of Health in collaboration with the WHO. The open-day free medical services include free surgery, general medical checkup, eye screening, and free medication. Over 300 beneficiaries attended the event. Mariama Sambu, the deputy officer in charge of Gunjur Health Center, assisting the operating team, stressed that more of such opportunities are needed in the country to help save lives.
We are very grateful. It's a very good initiative providing free medical service to the people of Gunjur. It is something that we commend so much, and we want to have more of this. And
Dr. Peter Adewi, convener of Stone Development Foundation, one of the organizations implementing this project, stated that his foundation is an outreach arm of Stone Churches worldwide, headquartered in Nigeria, and rendering humanitarian services to people in different countries globally. He explained some of the cases they have looked at.
For medical, we'll be looking close to 100 to see them as of today. For the eye, it will be close to about 80. And I've even met some other people in town that say, oh, are you people there? We're coming for eye tests. And then for dental, maybe around 20. And all of them have opportunity to get free drugs, as well as we also have free clothes.
Dr. Adewi thanked the Ministry of Health, the Medical Council of the Gambia, our local doctors, and the staff of the health center for making their work easy. He then made this announcement.
Based on what we have seen, even yesterday with the children, we saw that some of them are out of school. So we're already thinking, is it possible for us to sponsor 10, 15, 20 children up to secondary school level, and if we can get funding up to university?
Dr. Akinfemi Akiboyi, CEO of Toshol Initiatives in the UK, and Dr. Fumi Ogun, consultant ophthalmologist at the Sheikh Said Regional Eye Care Center in Kanifing, both explained some of the activities they have been doing in other health facilities and advised people on how to protect their eyesight.
Edward Francis Hospital, where I give a lecture on how to do what they call minimally invasive surgery, and I've done operations teaching all the other doctors how to do what they call keyhole surgery. I've done 3 in total. And Dr. Mani has been very receptive, and also all the people in the hospital are very welcoming.
If you can get sunglasses, they don't have to be too dark, but sunglasses wide enough that have protection by the sides, that will really help, especially if you have children who are short-sighted. They tend to have large eyeballs, so their eyeballs could get a little dry.
Amar Manjang, a beneficiary, states the importance of free medical exercise.
So I had the opportunity to go through all these 3 sectors and then check myself and then share it what kind of medication will I access to better my health.
According to Dr. Adewi and the UK doctors, their organizations are focused on healthcare and helping the vulnerable communities around the world. For QTV News, Loli M. Kamara.
Now, the 5th edition of the annual Sukuta Week commemoration commenced today at the Sukuta Lower Basic School. As QTV's Jennifer Sonko reports, several activities will be held through to the 6th of January 2024.
Sukuta Week is an annual gathering of Sukutarians, including those in the diaspora, and members of surrounding communities to foster dialogue, reflect on the community's achievements and challenges, and to identify community development needs and priorities. Activities during the Sukuta week include sports events, educational activities, free health screening, walk for health, clean-up exercises, community dialogue with women, youth, and the diaspora, amongst others. Babukar Cham, Sukuta VDC chairman, details the successes of the Sukuta week since its inception in 2018.
One major impact that I could talk about is the educational aspects of it, because it gives the opportunity to students to participate in competitions, spelling, quiz, and debate. That means they always have to prepare before the event, and that has really given confidence to so many students to prepare for public speaking. That's one aspect of it. Another part about that Sukuta Week gave to us today is that we are having a project that we will build in a skill training center, and that has come from the Sukuta Week discussions.
Councillor Abdul K. Cham applauds the organizers for complementing his community development efforts.
A lot of topics we normally talk about it to make so that youth are sensitized on those areas so that they can be living in the community, positively contribute immensely to the development of the community. So I mean, as a councillor, working VDC as a partner, I'm always in touch with them, try our best to see how best we can make the community of Sukuta as a better place for everyone.
Although the Sukuta week mainly targets young people, the turnout of young people and community members was low at the opening ceremony. VDC chairman Babukar Cham again.
It's difficult to ascertain why the young people are not attending, because I know for the fact that there has been quite a good campaign for people to come and attend the program. But apparently the attendance is low, and we're still going to continue to keep appealing to the young people to show up to this program, because pretty much everything that we do is geared toward development of the young people. Yeah, so I will have to go back to the drawing board to find out what is causing the young people not attending the programs.
Dr. Mama K. Bojang, a community member, highlights that the people of Sukuta are well known for their community spirit and voluntary service, and he calls on the young people to continue that spirit.
As a community, has a track record of community service. Because the very school that we are in, this Sukuta Lower Basic, was built by the community. The health center was built by the community. The secondary school was built by the community. So that track record is dwindling. So we want to rekindle, call upon the youth that this is what we have inherited.
Sukuta is one of the largest towns in the West Coast region with a population of over 15,000. It is hoped that Sukuta Week commemoration will continue to foster dialogue and further uplift the spirit of community service. Reporting for QTV News, I am Jenna Wasonko.
And now to some international news stories. Exiled Senegalese opposition figure Karim Wade, an ex-minister and the son of former head of state Abdoulaye Wade, says he has filed papers to contest February's presidential election. This report by Babukar Sise is narrated by Mamadou Lamin Choi.
Karim Wade revealed his intention to contest presidential elections in February, making the announcement on X, formerly known as Twitter. Wade's Democratic Party had designated him as its candidate, but doubts had remained due to his sentencing to a jail term for corruption in 2015, 3 years after current President Macky Sall took office. During his father's rule, Karim Wade held several ministerial posts simultaneously, including Minister for Infrastructure and Air Transportation. His large portfolio led to him earning the nickname, quote-unquote, the Minister of the Earth and the Sky, and he was alleged to have acquired several foreign farms by illicit means. Macky Sall pardoned him in 2016, and Wade has been living in exile in Qatar since then. Wade's criminal record had prevented him from standing in the 2019 election, which saw Sall re-elected. But in August, Parliament voted to restore the eligibility of Wade and another opposition figure, former Dakar Mayor Halifa Sall, following President Sall's initiation of a political dialogue that was boycotted by various opposition groups. Halifa Sall unrelated to the president, was imprisoned in 2017 and given a 5-year jail term for fraud, but released in 2019 after receiving a pardon like Wad. More than 200 candidates have filed papers to contest the presidential election next year. This follows another development 2 weeks ago when a court in Senegal ordered that jailed opposition leader Ousmane Sonko be reinstated on the electoral register, clearing the way for him to stand in next year's presidential election. Like Khalifa Sall and Karim Wade, Sonko, 49, was struck off Senegal's electoral roll after being sentenced in absentia in June to 2 years imprisonment for morally, quote-unquote, corrupting the youth. A government lawyer said the government would appeal the ruling to reinstate Sonko. As events heat up for elections to be held in 2 months' time, more developments are expected to follow in one of West Africa's most stable democracies. Mohamed Lamin Choi, QTV News.
Well, I'm afraid that's all we got time for, but before we go, here is a recap of the headlines. The Gambia Chamber of Commerce, Industry, Agriculture and Employers Association organized its first ever Green Market Fair in a bid to promote local businesses. The residents of Salaji, including senior government officials in the area, embarked on a day-long cleaning and road rehabilitation exercise on Saturday. At the press conference, the president of the General Transport Union has voiced concern over the lack of garages across the greater Banjul area and the challenges this poses to the commercial transport sector. And in international news, exiled Senegalese opposition figure Karim Wade, an ex-minister and the son of former head of state Abdoulaye Wade, says he has filed papers to contest February's presidential election. That's all we have for you in this bulletin of the news. But before we go, we have an update to the burial arrangements for the former diplomat Sidi Momodu Led, who was killed in South Africa. The fidao will be tomorrow, the 24th of December 2023 at 1 p.m. at the Pipeline Mosque, and the burial will be at Bakau Cemetery at 2 p.m. Those who wishing to pay condolences may do so at the family's residence in Bakau. May his soul rest in perfect peace. Join us tomorrow, same time, with News and Review with Ade Drame. Many thanks indeed for the pleasure of your company, and do have a lovely weekend. Bye-bye.